Okay, our next company presenting is Biogene Technology. So we're going to switch gears from multiple sclerosis to insecticides. So Biogene Technology is a biotech company that has discovered a natural organic insecticide in the leaves of an Australian eucalypt tree called Qside. I'll let Kevin tell more about the story. So please welcome to the stage the CEO, Mr. Kevin Rumble.
Thank you very much, Simon. Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Kevin Rumble and I'm the MD of Biogene Technology. What I'm about to talk to you about is obviously a little bit simpler than what went before me. I want to talk to you about an insecticide we call Qside. It's a natural, pure organic insecticide that we discovered in the leaves of a gum tree. It has been tested and it works. It produces 100% mortality in every insect subject that we put it to, in all their groups. It's safe and non-toxic, it's clean and it's green, and I now want to show you a video about it, if it works. Technology. Is it in this machine?
Yeah, it's not in there.
So it's not in the...
No, we'll have to send it out for you.
Well, what do we do now?
I'll send it out for you.
Well, there you go. It works. Qside has been tested. Well, I'd better tell the story then, because I'm going to have to do a significant ad-lib job here. Qside is a organic compound which is different than the inorganic compounds that are in the insecticide industry at the moment. There are a couple of bad ones called Rogor and chlorpyrifos, which are actually killing people, cause cancer, do all sorts of bad things. So over the past, insecticides had to be made because insects eat 1/3 of our food crop every year. They actually kill people. Insects, mosquitoes kill people. We've heard about Ross River's design, all that sort of stuff. Our company basically was a bioprospecting company, and we had some rights to the states of Western Australia and Queensland, and we tested thousands and thousands and thousands of plant samples and decided that we would run with a simple thing like an insecticide. Purely and simply because of the choices that went before us, the ease to get into the market and what was going on in the insecticide market. The insecticide market's worth over $55 billion a year in the world, and predominantly because it's 80% of that is agricultural based and the other 20% is in animal and human health. Qside, being purely organic, is non-toxic. It also has a very high bacteriostat content. It kills E. coli and golden staph, and it's also anti-dermatology. So it can be applied to humans and companion animals very, very safely and do the job. What we have done is we have been found. We've done no active marketing because we wanted to prove this up, but unfortunately we've been found by some of the biggest insecticide companies in the world, and as a consequence we have given them some samples and they have done some tests, and 5 of those companies all want to continue doing business with us once we pass the APVMA. Now, the APVMA is the Australian Pesticides and Veterinary Medicines Authority. As you heard earlier on, Australia is regarded very highly in the world in biotech, and the APVMA is also regarded very highly in the world. So once we pass the APVMA, and we know we will do that because we have put other compounds through, we will now have an insecticide that is recognised in the world to be safe, that produces 100% mortality in insects, including snails and slugs, and has an absolute desire in a market that has got such bad, horrendous chemical compounds in there that they are desperately looking for replacements to do this. And Qside is one of them. Qside's biggest rival would be pyrethrum. Pyrethrum comes from a pyrethrum daisy, and interesting to note, that the biggest company that produces pyrethrum to the world today is a company called Botanical Resources Australia. They're in Tasmania, and they have been growing for the last 10 years, doing this daisy, until the point where they've run out of room, and they've now moved into Victoria and are increasing farms in Victoria. They sell 60% of the world's natural insecticide today. Pyrethrum produces 72% mortality on the last count that was done in Chicago by S.C. Johnson on the German and the American cockroach, where Qcide produced 100% mortality. If you mix a little bit of Qcide with a little bit of pyrethrum, you've got back to 100% mortality, and that's another thing that is attracting the interest of the world insecticide companies. They don't have to do a big major rebadging, they don't have to go and put a big submission in. In some of these places, like the EPA, the TGA, you'll be able to get registrations once we've got the APVMA relatively easily. So, the world is desperate for new, clean insecticides. Qcide is purely organic. It is not an organophosphate like Rogor or chlorpyrifos. They have been banned. You can buy chlorpyrifos at Bunnings. Now, 7 grams of this stuff will kill a human. It's been banned in the United States since 2003. What have we been doing over the last couple of years? We have successfully synthesized Qcide now, so we have got it down to nature identical. We have got world interest in both the synthetic form and the natural form. We have got patents in all granted patents in all the major markets: Japan, United States of America, all of Europe, England, Australia, New Zealand. We've developed a range of products which we saw as demonstration products. We wanted to show that Qcide was incredibly safe to humans, so we concentrated on animal health and human health. We've got about 14 products that are related to dogs and cats and humans. All of them, I think, are going to be spectacular. We've got a good board of people that drive the company. Victor Rosenberg is our chairman. He's South African. He had extensive experience in the manufacturing of pharmaceutical industries. He ran 3 companies that he started from scratch in South Africa and turned them into multi-million-dollar companies. And he's the winner of an International Packaging Award, just to name a few. I am the founding director of this company and also another company that's now listed called BioProspect Limited. I came from the advertising industry. I ran an advertising agency in Perth, Western Australia for 22 years. And how did I get into this? One of my clients went bankrupt and left me with a plant nursery. And the accountant and I decided that we wanted to get our money back, so we would take care of the liquidation process. So we ran an ad and sat there for 4 weeks and made more money than we could get over. So we found 2 people, started a nursery business, and that's why we discovered that there's value inside plants better than they are in a pot plant. So that's what led to all of those latest discoveries. So Qcide comes from a little plant. That's a little Eucalyptus cloesiana, which is where 96% of all of the compound comes out of the leaves. So why would you invest in Qcide? We think it's a low-cost oil extraction that comes from an Australian plant. It's a water-based extraction, so it's a 6.5 pH neutral. It has no impact at all in its process. We're undergoing the APVMA approval, and we're 3/4 of the way through that, and our science team have done, over their combined 50 years of experience, probably a dozen of these APVMA approvals, so we know we'll pass it. We've synthesised it for wider application in the agricultural business, and we've produced it nature identical. It's proven its effectiveness by some of the world leaders. So, and we have some confidentiality agreements in place that once it's approved by the APVMA, they want to move on with us. We are going to derive our income from selling essential oil, then by selling synthetics, and also developing and distributing a range of products that have Qcide in them. The investment opportunity, we are listed, and this is a little different, but we are on the ASOB board. We were put on the ASOB board 2 days ago. That stands for the Australian Small Scale Offerings Board. There's the disclaimer. It's in the 74-page book that you'll find on the site, and I don't want to recite that because the man held up a minute, so we've got no time for that. So we're going to put 23 million of the shares up on the board. They're going to start at 5 cents, 4 million of those. Then when that's gone, it's going to move up to 7 cents for the next 3 million, and then 10 cents till we get to the 2 million mark. We've got a planned ASX listing, although we may list overseas because we are having a talk with some people in the United States. But in any event, we will be ready to ramp up everything in 2 years' time. Once we've passed the APVMA, we will be ready to ramp up our farming activities, ramp up the production of our synthetics and move along with our products. So in summary, we're an Australian company with a unique resource. We're going to list in 2 years' time, and we're going to have plenty of growth. So if you'd like to see me, you could take a note of my number. I'm down the road at the 4 Points Sheraton, and I'll be here till tomorrow. And if you want to have a look at us, you can go to the ASOP board, go to that link and register, and ASOP will get in touch with you. Thank you very much. I'm over there.